Hi, and welcome to another snow cactus programming tutorial. Here I'm going to show you how to make a kaleidoscope design in Pygame in Python. I'm going to show you what it looks like here. So we're going to run it. So see here, it starts as a square and it rotates and gets bigger and bigger. After a couple seconds, it'll reach a point and then it will reset. I'm going to show you how to do this using some math to rotate around the points. And yeah, so saw there it resetted. Okay, so I'm going to go and close that and let's go and get started. Okay, so what you'll need is two Python classes, one for the main and one for a shape class. I'm not going to really show you how to do that. Hopefully you know how to do it already. Just be sure to save it in the same folder. Okay, so basically what you'll need is to have Pygame with your Python code. This will not show you how to get Pygame. Hopefully you should have that as well. I will include timestamps in this video and in the description if you need to just go to a certain point in the video of how to do something. So for the first part, we're just going to make a basic window like normal. It doesn't matter in which way how you do it, as long as there's some sort of window. I'll go ahead and show you the way I've been doing it. Like I said, it doesn't matter which way you do it. First of all, I'm going to import everything we'll need. So I'm going to go ahead and do import Pygame, sys, and random. Random will be for later. I'll show you that towards the end of the video. I'll need that. And then from the Pygame locals, we're going to go ahead and import everything. Okay. So let's go ahead and just do pygame.init. And then how I do this is I just set screen width to about 1020. Screen height is about 900. So we'll do a surf for pygame.display.set mode. Do screen width, screen height. Again, like I said, you can do this any way you prefer. I just like doing it this way because I can edit it later. We'll have background color. We'll set that 25, 25, 25, just for that grayish color. And we'll surf fill the BG color. Okay. I like to have kind of a clock to kind of set the FPS so it doesn't get too crazy. And I can time it, so we'll go clock, pygame.tick clock, and I'll go FPS is equal to 60 frames per second. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the main method here. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and do a while true, because this could go on forever. So you do clock, tick, FPS. Again, you can do this any way you prefer. I like to have this code in here. This just helps me close it. So I'll have for event in Pygame event.get. Hopefully this seems familiar. So if event.type is equal to quit and Pygame.quit and then sys.exit. And then I like to have the keystroke of the escape key as well. So event type key down if event.key is equal to pygame.k_escape. We're going to go ahead and do another pygame.quit and sys.exit. Okay, looks good there. So let's go back here. And basically what we're going to do is just have a pygame.display.update. And that's it. So we'll go ahead and go to main. Just call that the start. Go ahead and save that. And let's run it. And then just gray and empty. Hit escape and close it. Anyways, okay. So now we're going to make the shape class here. So in here, we're going to need to import Pygame and math. Math is very important for this because we're going to use math to rotate the points. Okay, from pygame.locals, import everything. Okay, so we do class shapes object. And we're gonna have a def init. Let's see, self-surf. Okay, so we're gonna have a self.surf is equal to the surface. Let's see, info. Let's go pygame display.info. This is important to make sure you get the center point, which we're gonna do here in a second. So self.s width info.current _ w, and then self.s height is equal to info.current _ h. Okay. Right, so that's pretty much all you need here. So we're doing another definition. So we're going to do a draw selected self select mod and color. Okay. So this is here. So in the shapes class, we have the basic initiative and definition, where this is going to have the screen width and screen height passed in. And then in here, what's called draw selected is because later we can add multiple shapes. So we just have this kind of later to have it where you can select different shapes randomly. And I'll show you that in a second. So first of all, let's do this. So we're going to do kind of an off of 5. This just kind of helps make it grow at a rate that's decent. We do offset is equal to the mod times off. I'll show you what this mod is about in a minute. The mod basically is going to be, so in the main, we're going to have a loop going on. We're going to pass in a number every some odd seconds, or half a second or so. And it's going to change to this, and that's going to it's going to grow over time. All right, so we're going to have the center x be equal to self.s width divided by 2. The center y is equal to self.s height divided by 2. Okay. All right, so now you do an if statement here. So if select is equal to 0. Basically, this is going to be the square, the thing I just showed you at the start. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make some points. Okay, so we're going to do point 1 is going to be the cx minus offset, and then cy minus offset. Okay, so what that is, that's going to be the top left point of the square. P2 is going to be cx plus offset, and cy minus offset. Okay, that's going to be the top right point. So P3 is going to be cx plus offset, and then cy plus offset. And that's going to be the bottom right. Okay, P4 is going to be cx. Okay, cx minus offset, and cy plus offset. And that's going to be bottom left. Okay. Real quickly here, we're going to step up to the side for a second. Make a new definition here. This is one that's going to be really important. This is how we're going to rotate the points. This is where all the math's going to be. So if this is the part of the video you were looking for, then great. Okay. Rotate point. Okay, so we're going to do a self, the center x, the center y, the point we're going to rotate, and the mod. Okay. The mod in this case is the modified number, not really the modulus. Okay, so we're gonna have a sign. That's gonna be math.sign mod. Okay, the cosine is gonna be math.cosine mod. Okay, now we're gonna point 0, so the x of the point. we're going to set that to the negative of the center. So 0.1. So the y position of the point. Let's give you this set to the negative cy. Actually, be minus that. Okay. So basically, we're going to take the center points out as we rotate it. So now we're going to do the x new. It's going to be 0.0, the x of the point, times this cosine of the modified number. So minus the y times the sine. And the y new is going to be this. Let's get 0.0 times the sine plus 0.1 times the cosine. Okay, so now we're going to set these new points. So 0.0 is going to be x new plus cx, and 0.1 for the y is going to be y new plus cy. And we return the point. Okay, so what that was, basically we got the sine and cosine of the modified number, basically the degree we wanted to rotate it. We took out the center point of these, so we can go back up to the top, and then we rotated it. We set the new point based off the rotation here. And put that number back in along with the center. Okay, so now we're going back up to here. So that's all we need for rotate point. That's it. So all we need to do now here is we're going to do 0.1 is equal to self dot rotate point cx cy p1 and mod. That's it. Okay, so we'll do p2 again. So self dot rotate point go cx cy p2 mod. Done. p3 is equal to the same thing. So self dot rotate point cx cy p3 and mod. p4 is equal to self dot rotate point cx cy p4 mod. Okay, this is the last part here. This is where we're going to actually draw it. So go ahead and do a Pygame. Dot draw line. So we draw the 4 lines here. So we're going to do the self dot surf, which is the surface. We're going to do the color. We're going to do P1 to P2. We're going to set the width of the point just to 2. You can change that however you like. You want it stronger or smaller. It's up to you. So we do that again. So Pygame dot draw dot line self dot surf the color. So we go from P2 to P3 and we set that to 2. Pygame dot draw dot line self dot surf color P3 to P4 and 2. Okay, last point, last line I should say. Pygame dot draw dot line self dot surf color P4 to P1 with the 2. Okay, so that's all we really need to do for our shape class here. So we'll go ahead and come back into here to our main. So here at the start, we're going to get from shape, import shapes. Okay, so here we're going to make a new variable. So my shapes, you can name this however you like. It's up to you. Shapes surf. So we're calling the shapes class in here, or passing in the surf. So we're getting all this information here. Okay. So now we're going to go down to our while loop. Okay. So now we're in our while loop, and this is what we're going to do. So basically, we're going to do my shapes dot draw draw selected. We're going to pass in 0 because we only have one. We're going to go ahead and pass in something called size count. We haven't made that yet. We'll make that in a second. We're going to go ahead and pass in a color of 0, 0. I'm sorry. Let's do 255, 255, 255. You can have this any color you want. We'll show you how to change it in a second. And that, let's see, and that's it. Yep, so we're going to close that up. Okay, so now we're going to do the size count here. What this is how we're going to make it grow. So up here, we're going to have a counter is equal to 0, a size count is equal to 0, and yes, that should be it. Okay, so over here, we go ahead and we're going to do a if counter is greater than or equal to 15. We set counter. Let's see, counter to 0. Oh, let's see. Put that in the if loop there. Size count plus equal 1. Okay, after the update, we're going to have the counter plus equal to 1. Okay, this size count here will come later. So basically after every 15 counts, or every 15th, so we have frames per second, so it's 60 frames per second. We're doing it 15 times. So this should be, let's see, 15, 30, this is 1/4 of a second. So every 1/4 of a second, we're going to reset this counter. We're going to draw the new line here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save it, and as you run it, it should work. And there it is. Okay, so that is the very basic of what you need. So you can see here, it's going to keep growing and growing. The thing is, we have not set in any sort of way to stop it. So in this case, it's just going to keep growing and growing. But you can see here, it's still a pretty cool design until it goes way out of the box and gets kind of boring. So we're going to go ahead. So here's all the code you'll need just for that. You can look at it here. Now we're going to add some more customization to it. This is kind of the extra stuff. So if you want to leave this video, it won't hurt any of my feelings. Okay, so here we're going to go ahead and we're going to have something called size max. Okay, so in this case, we're going to have it as 0. And we're going to have a select equal to 0 as well. Okay, so we're going to have, so I kind of did some of the math on this. You can have it any way you like it as well. But I found it, so if select is equal to 0, that's basically saying if our select is going to be the square, we're going to have the size max equal to 80. So I kind of found that where at 80, it's about a safe time when it should reset. The size max is to help us reset. Okay, so if the size count is equal to size max, we're going to set the size count to 0. We're going to have the select be a random number. Really, we only have one here, so that's kind of the, actually let me just do it here, random rand int. But really, we don't have anything there, so we're just going to have select equal to 0. So that random, this line here, that line there, it's mostly for if we have different shapes, it'll randomly select different ones. Okay, so here we're just going to have select equal to 0. And then we're going to have the surf fill BG color. Basically, we're going to clear the screen again. Okay, so now if we were to run it, it should be able to reset at a certain point. So I'm going to go ahead and run it here. So it's still white. Basically, what you'll do to change that is you can just add a random int under where the color is, and then with that you can have it change different colors as it rotates and grows. So you saw there? Yeah, so it just ended up resetting. Okay, so that's the basics. So if we want to, we can add this here. So we can go ahead and do a random rand int. somewhere between 25 and 255. And then I'm just going to copy this here. Hopefully you should catch on as well. Actually, I did not mean to add that. Okay, here we go. And then we just replace. And let me go ahead. There we go. Now we can see better. Just go ahead and enter and enter. Okay, perfect. Okay. So now if I were to run it, it's now different colors as it rotates. Okay. So this is some of the advanced stuff we can do with it. The last thing I want to show you before I want you to go on your own is how easy it is to make your own shapes. I'm going to show you how to make a triangle now. So if we go to if select is equal to 1, this one's going to be a triangle. Okay. So basically, let me go ahead and get to the right. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So for the triangle, basically we have 3 points like normal, and you just kind of have to think about where these points are going to be at. So point 1 is going to be at CX. So it's going to be rough. It's going to be at the exact X, the middle of the X. For the Y, it's going to be the center minus off minus offset. Just kind of have to use some of your knowledge of kind of the area of how the the surface works, and then you can kind of understand it and make your own points. P2, this one is going to be CX plus off plus offset, CY plus off plus offset. And this one is going to be the bottom right. And P3 is going to be CX minus off minus offset, CY plus off plus offset. Okay, and that one is going to be the bottom left. Okay, then just like the square, we're going to have to rotate the points. So P1 is going to be equal to self.rotate point CX CY P1 and mod. P2 is going to be self.rotate point CX CY P2 and mod. And lastly, P3 self.rotate point CX CY P3 and mod. Okay. And the last part, we're going to draw the lines. Okay, Pygame.draw.line self.surf the color P1 to P2 with a thickness of 2. Okay, Pygame.draw.line self.surf color P2 to P3 with a thickness of 2. Last line, Pygame.draw.line self.surf color P3, P3 to P1 with thickness of 2. Okay, so that's it for the triangle. So now in here, again, I've kind of noticed with some of my trial and error with this, if the select is going to be equal to 1, which is we're going to have it for the shape, I've kind of figured good timing, it is about 100 and, size max is equal to 140. Okay, so now we can go ahead and get rid of that and put that there. So it should be a random point between 0 and 1. So I'm going to set this to 1 just to show you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and run it. Now we should start seeing. Okay, so we start seeing. Oh, I see why. We forgot to change the select here. Sorry about that. Run module. Okay, there we go. So, I mean, it's not 100% clean, but it still kind of gives that kaleidoscope effect of rotating shapes around a point, and kind of a cool design. Yeah, I want you guys to now kind of think of on your own, what are some other points you can do. It could be an octagon. You can also have it where it doesn't really rotate. You can just have it just to kind of grow at a rate too. That's as simple as just getting rid of the rotate points, and then just hitting run. So it just kind of gets a cool growing design as well. So yeah, I want you guys to now go ahead and just kind of think of other ways to, like, what are some other shapes you can do, and then you can just grow along with that as well. I will go ahead, I'll put a link in the description of the GitHub repository where you can find this code if you need it. I'd be able to answer any questions you leave in the comments as well. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.